Microphone test 1 2. Microphone test 1 2. Okay. The microphone seems to work. That's good. Phone's a little bit louder. What else? We need to post all my social links. Also, I'll probably want to add some sort of text. I'm reading my novel today. Editing. Select the font, the Arials. What is Palatine? Hello. Thanks for being here. Whoever just gave me the little heart
Howdy,
emoji. Howdy, mana. I'm just adding things. Just looking for some fonts. Kind of nice for this. Okay, Cambria seems to be closest to Merryweather font. Thanks for being here. But wow, okay. Always the stream spikes a little bit at the beginning. Okay. And editing my novel today. Hello, all them likes and peoples. Yep. Gonna copy this. Switch over to the face cam real quick. To say hello, folks. It's me. I'm Begin. I'm back, and we're live. We're alive. I'm sitting down. And let's see if we... Okay. And the spike is over. As usual. We'll deal with that later, but... Yeah, thanks for being here, Mana. Let me post my social link. Let me pin my social links. Okay. So, no, that's...
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm sitting up, so that's good. Like I said, I posted a short, but I wanted to post an update video, and I wanted to see if it will have more reach if I put it as a short. It did give me more reach, but it didn't actually give me any feedback. Nobody gave me any feedback. Most people scrolled away at the 25% mark. But I think That's typical of shorts anyways. On what people want to see. But I think the general consensus would be do whatever you want. And I really should just depend on the analytics more on what video gains traction. What should be smart is that I'm going to try posting a whole load of shorts at different times and see which one sticks. That should be the smarter thing. But okay, I need to start a poll. But yeah, yes, I spent as much time yesterday as I could to get started on a new chapter of writing, and I couldn't because I spent too much time editing Memoirs Chapter 4. So there's that. I'm going to link the memoirs to you soon, but I haven't edited it on camera. I haven't edited it on the wiki page yet. But I did publish chapters 1 through to 3 of the novels up on the reading page already. So.
My B, I am not a shorts viewer.
No worries. Thanks for stopping by! Exclamation point. Mind leaving a like. Mark. Liked! Exclamation point. Also subbed! Exclamation point. Right, we're gonna post this, pin this, pop this open. Okay, good. And then we're going to wait. Saying welcome to the chat room, but it's not saying my social links at all. That's bad. I'm just gonna put you up here somewhere. Hope you're doing well, Mana. And I'm going to like
Socials.
Okay. And then I'm going to move my transparent window down here so I could see the chat and the viewers.
I am doing well. Work has slowed to basically a halt, so it's time for the winter downtime.
I see. Time to winter it down. Just move. I'm just looking for a good position for my chat window or my video window so that I could see at the video. That's good. That's good. Pin the social links right here. Follow on Twitch. Okay. Everything seems to be working fine. And I'm going to change this a little bit. And color is fine, but I need a enable anti-aliasing, center regular, opacity, outline. There we go. Let's outline you with a nice color. Something dark and moody and broody. Okay, not dark enough, maybe. That seems. Gonna copy. Or is it Control X? Not just control copy. I just go to my members. Thank you, Apulux, Mantar, Alpha, Vega Chapa, I'm Islam, and Chris Breton for being members at the time of streaming, getting to watch vids early, cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment. And also, you get turned into a Pokemon. So feel free to join the membership program if that's your thing. Otherwise, just forget to like the video, you'll enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Click on the bell to get notified for when I go live.
Nintendo lost their monster summoning mechanic patent in Japan, and now the USA Patent Office is putting the same patent under scrutiny.
That's good. I'm not a fan of what they're doing. I'm also sad that Nintendo's pivoting to the litigious route. But I think it's good that it is good that it's now not setting a precedent. But I do like the whole digital democracy thing of, with enough outcry, and pressure, they'll do more things.
They realized they are technically AAA and needed to jump off the same AAA hill that the others have.
Yep. They had a good formula going already, which is IPs and games first. They just needed to friggin' give Game Freak the money they need and a team they need. But I mean, it's a very Japanese thing, I think, with their work culture and stuff, and how merchandising and sponsorships work. The anime industry is so bad in that term as well, because you are literally just exploiting your workers. And you know the mechanisms behind anime, right? Is that the animation studio and animators work on a salary, while merchandising rights go to the sponsors. So no matter how hard they work, they don't get rewarded for how hard they work. It's all passion stuff. It's absolutely diabolical. All right, but anyways, if you want to support my channel, feel free to do so. But right now, the shorts that I put up is basically I'm saying that things are a bit of an impasse right now with the channel. I'm running out of money and time to actually to get more monetization happening on this channel, and I need to do. I want to do so many things, and I'm at a bit of a decision paralysis. Okay, of what to do, and not only that, there's the whole ADHD dopamine thing where where I'm super concentrated on one thing and then I'm demotivated to do other things. So all excuses, but yeah, anyways, thanks for being here, Mana. Let's see if we have more novels to read right now. There we go.
The dang hyperfixation.
Yes. I'm reading and editing my novel today, and let's make sure that that's in a little spot. Are you even centered? Now it's centered. Okay. All right, Memoirs of Jacob. We're just doing editing and updating on what's actually going to happen, and we'll see, and if we're going to be able to do as much as I can. But I spent a fair bit of time editing the 4th chapter for release, And if we have more time, I'm going to spend some time brainstorming a couple of the newer characters that we'll need. Okay. Little PNG tubers taking up my real estate face on my face. Okay, never mind. Right, let's see what we're doing. Free Shivaka doing. So I'm going to move a couple of windows here and there. I'm going to move this OBS window up. Why is BlueStacks loaded on my PC? I'm not gaming, thank you very much. I might do some more gaming later with a tablet to do physio stuff. But we'll cross that bridge once we come to it. Good. Goes here. Then I will move my other window. This one down. Okay, that's good. Let me close this. No, this needs to stay up and out of the way. Right. Okay. I'm gonna switch to my novel page on the right, then move this to the left. Okay, so the hands. Immediately I spotted the mistake. All right, let's go ahead and change both sides. The hands should be capitalized, right? 5th day of Rain Moon. Oh, by the way, as a bit of a interesting side note, let's see if I could actually this right here. Yep, so here's the calendar. If you're wondering how the calendar structure works in this as well. So the Anzanian calendar is the dominant timekeeping system with 7 realms, created in the classical era following the fall of the Golden Age at AW 7777.
I hardly know her.
Damn it. I don't have my bonk meter up, so what that means is we're going to use the redeem. Wait.
At im_biggie, you successfully redeemed bonk for 10 LP. At Biggie's Let's Plays, you successfully redeemed bonk for 10 LP.
Wonderful. Anyways, let's talk about the Anzanian calendar. The Anzanian calendar is the dominant timekeeping system in the 7 realms. And basically, I'm taking a page from Kurzgesagt and adding 10,000 years to the whole thing. And I was working on a what's equivalent of This was a proposed calendar, right? Not sure if I mentioned this calendar before. Hold on, we're connecting you to your channels. My goodness. Okay, we're back. And instead of 12 months, we topped it up to 13 months of 28 days, making it 364 days of the year. And in the weeks, we have 4 weeks per month, 7 days per week. And this is a proposed real world calendar, by the way, that we have 13 months instead of 12, and in all of the months we'll have 364 days. No, well, all months will have 28 days. That means that every single day of the month will fall on a certain number. The random number of which day belongs to which month will disappear. It's like not which day 1 would be always on a Monday of the month. Day 7, 1, 7, 21, 28 will always be on a Monday, for example, or a Sunday, depending on how you adopt the calendar. And there's to compensate for the remaining year, we have a New Year's Day. So that will be the a day on and off itself. Sacred holiday outside of the standard months. It's just one day of the year that doesn't belong to any month for the 365 days. And there's every 4 years, second crown day is added, mirroring the Gregorian leap years. Okay. And New Year's month follows the traditional seasons. We put the new year between spring and winter on the crown moon. And we have spring of bloom, seed, and rain. Summer of sun, heat, and storm. Autumn had scythe, dusk, and hunts. And winter has snow, dark, and thaw. So that's the logistical things of how this works. And crown moon will be the exact moon between winter and spring. Okay, and spring is when crops start to grow and stuff. So there's all that, right? Crown
Sun
moon
moon is funny to me.
Because of Pokemon, I know. Right. Bloom moon, where flowers and forests awaken, markets swell with new goods. Seed moon is the sowing season, literally planting and starting of new ventures. Rain moon is where rivers rises and journeys of water become possible. And the sun moon is when I think it's similar to March, April, May, right? And then we have the heat moon, which is the peak of summer. No, sun moon, which is the beginning of summer, similar to June, often with tempers to match. Temperatures to match, I think, not tempers, but yeah. Storm moon, warms, rains, and dramatic tempests shaping coasts and moods. Scythe moon is the reaping of crops and celebrating the bounty. So I think the scythe moon needs to move a little bit, because usually scythe moon is October. That's when it could be October. We'll see. We have hunting moon, which is the gaming season for hunts and political maneuverings. Deep snows and stillness, a month of endurance and reflection. Traditionally, what happens is people don't wage war during winters, right? Or don't make invasions during winter. So, Rain Moon is a perfect starting point for the Hands of the Muhamir, because it would be right smack in the middle of the of an invasion from the Muhamir. That would make sense in terms of seasonal things. and dark moons have the longest nights, which is December. Dark moon is just square in December, and thaw moon is when ice begins to loosen, water swells, and hope stirs. And then we have the crown moon, which is the New Year's, the month of endings. This coincides like with Chinese New Year's and stuff, so that's cool. But okay, so if you're looking at the lunar tracking, each month is 28 days, meaning that it's slightly shorter than the true lunar cycle, which means that there are months that have full moons. Some months lack one entirely, which is rare and unsettling, considered omens of unrest. Most months have a full moon, except for ones that are moonless. And then the Kaab will meticulously track all the lunar data. New moons, full moons, blood crowns, black crowns. And then there's days where crown day coincides with the full moon. This happens up to, I think the rarity is about 1 in 20 years. Dark crown is... Oh, with a new moon, actually, for the dark crown. And then
what
blood
about
crown.
the high moons?
Moon mins. Oh, dear. Just give me a second. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is commenting on posts. I was gonna call this Harvest Moon, but of course we're gonna get copyright struck if we do call it that. Wait, why are you doing this? There we go. Okay. So concurrent viewers on the tubes is 0. That's sad, but kind of expected. I was wondering if there's actually any viewers at all. It's just no viewers. Nobody cares about people reading novels. Right? Damn it. Give me a second.
YouTube is weak.
But yeah, we have blood crowns with total lunar eclipses. This is not a full moon. With a new moon, not full moon. So basically the darkest day. Very, very bad. But the lunar eclipse blood moon on a New Year is nice and rare. It was like, oh no. So everything is on a lunar calendar over here. The only thing is bright count of AW 10,000 is when there's a great symbolic reset, the auspicious establishment year, reference in legal religious text. They haven't finished this yet, but okay. Still a work in progress. Right, let's go ahead and start editing memoirs now. I'm gonna edit back and forth between two, the main document and the secondary document. So I'm gonna start with copying the first part of this. Then paste. All right, so let's go ahead and also I'm going to add an image. I'm not sure if it's going to pop up a window or not. Let's see. Not hyperlink. Go insert images in media. Yep. Okay, it's going to ask me to upload. Okay, if it's going to ask me to upload, it's going to be, I'm not sure if I'm able to do that without doxing, so give me a second. I don't want to show you personal files. Oh wait, actually, let's not do that. That's wrong. GIMP. I need my image editor. Where's this? Edit. Flip. Okay. Save with content credentials.
Walmart has failed me once again.
Yep.
I bought a bag of broccoli but it has mold in it.
Oh my goodness. Poor Manta. Poor Manta. Wait. What the... Okay. It actually... That's interesting that save with content credentials, metadata actually discloses this work was created by generative AI, I guess. Yep. Right, let me insert the picture for a little bit. I'm going to upload the color picture. Let's save. Right, use this image. All right. Let's see if we could switch back to this screen. There we go. We have Seret by the hearth. I also should I want to copy this page. Do I have a page link to chapter 4 yet?
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Let me try pasting this link to make sure that it works. Okay, it does. In the beginning. In the beginning. Ah, okay. But of course, this is still edited, being edited, so Okay, so that's already correct. Anything else here? That's all right there. Okay, so here's the first edit. So this is where we got last left off. Let me also turn off the music briefly. I call that in broken Muhammad. Half words and gestures, such as paper, such as paper's book. He turned away, looked at the hearth, and pointed into the fire. I saw a corner of parchment curl and blanket amongst the embers. Amongst? Sounds better. I'll try
Amicus.
among us, the embers. Yep. All right. So here's the news thing. Something broke in me. Okay, let me just do this, and I need to change the cropping here. And right. Oh, also, right now, I'm into the physical Asia, and I got my wife addicted to physical Asia as well, because they had Thailand as one of the competitors.
Oh no, lol.
Yep. And of course, we were eliminated first. Of course, we were. Okay. That should Fishafal do it. Okay. Stretchy, stretchy. Right.
Oh no. Thailand couldn't tie up the competition.
Okay, so physical Asia was absolutely great cinema because physical 100, both seasons sucked because they're containing all these Korean well-known celebrities and physical fitness gurus and all different body types and sports and stuff, right? Like everybody was like it was great for the Koreans because all their stars gets propped up and gets shown, right? Physical Asia is a team-based event where the pit against the strongest athletes together against one another of each certain countries. And after the second event, two teams were slated for elimination, and they pitted Thailand against Philippines. But the thing is, when Thailand against Philippines was, um, I was cheering and hoping that Thailand eliminates Philippines. And my first thought was, the Philippines had Manny Pacquiao participating. So they thought, wow, you know what? It's going to be absolute cinema. And I was thinking, if Manny Pacquiao is participating, there's no way that they're going to have him on for more than 3 episodes. Like 3 or 4 episodes, because they won't be able to afford him. That was my thought, right? So after that, we said, okay, Thailand's gonna win this, and we lost and got eliminated first. And
LOL.
And what happened is that got me so angry is that when they went to the next challenge, the Pac-Man disappeared anyways. He said, I have to go back to my country. I'm sorry, I have to go back to my country. I have some other things to do. Like, wait, so Manny Pacquiao's gone? Anyways? Like, yeah. And there's also another bit of drama. I think I've worked or was involved with the Sports Authority of Thailand for a short time. Nothing, no, I wouldn't say I worked with. I interacted with the Sports Authority.
So he only showed up to beat Thailand. RIP.
Yeah. I worked with the Sports Authority of Thailand for a little bit of time. And I know the reason they sent the team that they sent was because the Sports Authority, they probably went to the Sports Authority, and the Sports Authority went, nope, not without, a little bit of moolah here. And I was hoping that there's a season 2 for Physical Asia, because right now, Thailand being eliminated first in one of the most popular series all about physical fitness, will probably have the Sports Authority fuming. It's like, why didn't we send our best athletes? That's going to be interesting as well. And because Thailand's known for, we medaled in the Olympics for a couple of things. The first one was was for boxing. That was our first Olympic gold. Then we had one, not Thai boxing, but boxing. And then we had a couple of gold medalists in women's weightlifting.
Why didn't we send our best? They should have bribed us better.
Exactly. Yeah. So Olympic gold medalists. We are the most recent. A couple of Olympics ago, we had weightlifters, female weightlifters that dominated. We dominated female weightlifting for 1 or 2 years, right? And I think it was, is it 20? Which year was it? I can't remember. The year before this one, and 2021 in Tokyo, and then 2024, we dominated Taekwondo. So yeah, those are the 3. Anyways, let's go. Let's keep reading. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. Right. So here is something I wanted to. This is the finally the passage I've added. Now that we're done with ADHD distractions. Speaking of which, no, something broke in me. 7 years, words of names, deeds, blood, ash, gone. Burned like so much else. The uprising in Nixpo, a council dissolved, and a republic born from their ruin. The martyrdom of Lord and Lady Tawana didn't just split the snow. It cracked something in people, and for once, grief became a gateway. Yet, it was not as if castes sat side by side, weeping and writing new laws overnight. Zara was at the center of it all. They called her the Apostle of Flame. In Anzania and Nixpor alike. They whispered that her voice brought Zarios the lion back from the dead, and had spent a better part of those years spreading Mawu in Nixporian tongue. Then, against all counsel, all reason, she turned south. said the work wasn't finished, that if Mawu meant anything, it must be spoken even in the land of the serpent god. They warned her it was folly, that their god would never yield. She listened, nodded, and gathered a small caravan anyway. I followed, not just as a scribe, but as a man who couldn't let her go alone. And now, all of it, the proof, the story, or at least what remained, firewood in a stranger's hearth. I shouted, my throat raw from fever. Words tumbled out sharp and bitter, the way a frightened man speaks when he has nothing left but pride. You shedders, all the same. Feed, take, burn what you don't value. And that was what I added to it. Because I felt like we needed a little bit of context, at least just one paragraph, explaining why Zara was here, why Jacob was here, and why 7 years worth of things are gone. The only thing is, yeah, I think like this gives the starting of this more context, so that's good. I think I wanted to make this bold. Better my hand than my tongue. Yep. And this is the other thing that I wanted to add. This is just a small tweak to make sure that people know that magic has returned, and a link to an older character, the Mitri Innkeeper. Innkeeper. Or as known now. Should we just give him like a he is known now by his current epitaph, comma, the first poet. Wait, that's what an epitaph is, right? That's the thing right after the comma of a magic card. Those things are called epitaphs? Or am I incorrect? Oh no, this is for some epitaph is for someone who's died. Yep. Title usually after a comma. Oh damn it! Hmm. There's a specific there's. um an honorific. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to actually look for uh title synonyms now. I'm not the subject, style term, Christian. Yeah. Oh, is it a moniker? Epithet, not epitaph. Finally, epitaph is postmortem.
Sorry, had to run into store to grab new broccoli.
No worries. But I was looking for another word for. I was looking for the word epithet because I wrote down epitaph, but epitaph is for uh dead people. Yep, there we go. Finally. Okay. So did you actually miss the reading though? Okay. Were you here when I read the new sentence structure or the new sentences? Or should I get back to that so that you could hear it? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, this was correct. day of rain moon. Okay. So did I finish the 9th day? No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we need to. I want to add a bit of dialogue here. How do I want to add the dialogue? Because there needs to be a small discussion between Zara and Jakob, so that her speech in Tanzanian lands a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to just go or between Zara Jakob regarding faith, regarding truths. Okay.
Dang, Twitch being buggy.
Oh, okay. Wondering what's happening because you weren't replying to my questions. Create a whole dialogue, but can you still hear me? Or how much of the story did you actually hear?
Not much, Twitch bugged out for a minute there.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So not much as in you didn't hear much, not much, or not much that you didn't
Sorry.
lose out much. It feels okay. Right. Okay, so let me
I didn't hear anything.
okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go back and read a couple of these things. The first one is the first like change I made was here. I called out in broken Muhammad, have words and gestures, such as papers, book. She turned away, looked at the hearth, and pointed into the fire. I saw a corner of parchment curl and blackened amongst the embers. Oh no. Blacked. No, blackened. Sorry. Okay, back here. Something broke in me. 7 years worth of names, deeds, blood, ash, gone, burned like so much else. The uprising in Nixpo, the council dissolved and the republic born from their ruin. The martyrdom of Lord and Lady Tawana didn't just split the snow, it cracked something in the people. And for once, grief became a gateway. Yet it was not as if the caste sat by side, weeping and writing new laws overnight. Zara was at the center of it all. They called her the Apostle of Flame. Should they say they now call her, or they called her? I don't know. In Anzania and Nixpo alike. This should have immediacy. They now call her the Apostle of Flame, in Anzania and Nixpo alike. They whispered that her voice brought Zarios the lion black from. Okay, I'm cooked. I think my brain's cooked. They whispered that her voice brought Zarios the lion back from the dead and had spent the better part of those years spreading Mawu in Nixborian tongue. Then, against all counsel, all reason, he turned south, said the work wasn't finished, that if Mawu meant anything, it must be spoken in the land of the serpent god. They warned her it was folly, that their god would never yield. He listened, nodded, and gathered a small caravan anyway. I followed, not just as a scribe, but as a man who couldn't let her go alone. And now, all of it, the proof, the story, at least what remained, firewood in the stranger's heart. Yeah. So that's just to add a little bit more, I think the word is agency, or a little bit more weight to what is being done, and a little bit more backstory to justify, not justify, just to add a little bit more to this. And also, I've added an image of Seret over here already.
That is a neat addition.
Yes, and they have a image of Seret over here, which you'll be able to see after I upload this. Okay, so there's that. And what else is? Yeah, it's a neat little addition here. I think everything else is the same. Oh, here's another. This another change I made. This is just so that we have a little bit more the callback to Dimitri, and just to let people know that magic is back. Right? He rested. He studied me for. She turned halfway. Her profile caught in the orange light. Her scales, or maybe it's just a sheen of sweat, caught the glow like a dull bronze. I am Jacob. He studied me for a heartbeat, as if deciding whether to return the small grace I offered. Said it. This is a GPT quirk. The friggin' M dash. Always the M dash. They trained the data on a lot of poetry, so the M dashes sneak their way in. Here's what's happened. For ChatGPT, they added a lot of M dashes. This has been an identifier for AI generated content, because ChatGPT trained the data on M dashes, and then they use the ChatGPT to and people keep writing with more M dashes because of ChatGPT, and now it's become a feedback loop, and M dashes are now everywhere. It's a good identifier for. That's at least what I learned regarding writing, getting writing advice. M dashes are everywhere thanks to ChatGPT. So we need to remove that as an identifier and just as a data point. Okay, so here it is. She rested her shoulder against the doorframe, turning her head to gesture at the scrap of parchment and dull quill beside my bed. No ink, she said. I could grind charcoal and mix it with mud water, but it could take a while. No need. I held the quill loosely, steadying my breath. I drew a picture in my mind, not of fire, but something finer, smaller, like the final embers of a dying flame. The tip glowed dull red. I moved slowly. As I moved slowly, the tip glowed dull red. I moved slowly, and the parchment darkened. Should I be the tip glowed red as I move slowly? You know what? I just full stop it. Yeah. The tip glowed dull red. I moved slowly, and the parchment darkened where the nip passed. Letters etched by heat, not ink. A parting lesson from Dmitri, innkeeper, known better now by his current epithet, the first poet.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, yes.
I couldn't resist.
Yes. Yeah, it glowed red. If the tip glowed red, you should seek some medical help. I also had to revise a line.
At im_biggie, you successfully redeemed bonk for 10 LP. At Biggie's Let's Plays, you successfully redeemed bonk for 10 LP.
Uh, earlier this was Chadaz. She turned the word weighing. Tasted the word as though weighing whether to chew it or spit it out. Earlier it was to spit or swallow, so I had to change it. I can't. I can't let immature readers go tee hee 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 by saying, "Oh, spit or swallow." Nice. So there's that. And now we are back. So yeah, so I added this so that we have a reference to Dimitri, as well as the reference of magic being used here and there. And the rest of it was chapter second entry was the same, but now we need a little bit of okay. I added a dialogue here, which was an important bit. And okay. And
So Jakob can conjure ink.
Jakob could use fire magic to etch the page in to brand the page rather than to write. Yeah, it's useful. So if he has infinite ink spell, basically he could write on parchment using fire magic rather than ink, which is convenient when ink has run dry. It is such a typical scribe thing to be able to learn how to write magic using fire. But the irony is, it's absolutely would be absolutely it works for a couple of things. First off, it would work really cool on clay tablets, and being able to write the letters and then immediately fire it. I think that would be one thing, but it would be immediately useless a couple of years later once the printing press becomes more commonplace.
Oh,
Search for
right.
Seret. Yeah,
Brain didn't catch that. That is neat indeed.
search for Seret. Okay. All right. So here's the rewrite of chapter 4 that's happening right now. I was in the middle of this, but got interrupted. Well, not quite interrupted. I made a mistake of um, sitting on my wheelchair rather than on my bed as I write this, and I was interrupted during my hyperfixation, so I had to stop. Okay, never mind. Let's just keep going. Excuses. Alexander, you're alive. So that means, yes, Zara is safe, resting in the tent. Good to see you are too. He brought me in, confirmed with my own eyes. Not that there was any doubt. What treasure it was to find loyalty and unquestioning honesty in such a place, like an oasis in the dunes. Inside, Zara lay propped against the bundle of furs, pale, graceful, ever stoic. As she turned to face me, I hobbled towards her, intent on an embrace, to confirm her presence with touch. But as my arms reached out, I stopped them, lowered my hands to meet hers, and bent my knee, in decorum more appropriate of her aid and scribe. I'm glad you are well, I said in Anzanian. Fool, she replied in Ixborian, turning her face away. My cheeks burned as if Zarios himself lent me his fury. Even after all these years, she still refuses to speak to me in our mother tongue. Begrudgingly, I repeated what I said again in Ixborian. She turned back and nodded. Her method of teaching me the fire god's language is nothing if not effective. I told her everything. How I had lost the memoirs, that I had been lied to, and how those lies kept me, and whatever pages remained alive. Okay, so the thing is, I love this kind of nuanced writing because Zara was saying fool for a couple of reasons. He was saying fool in Ixborian because on the surface, she was calling him a fool for speaking to her in Anzanian, when in fact she wants him to speak to her in Ixborian. I've been talking to you exclusively in Ixborian for these 7 years. Why haven't you responded in Ixborian? You're speaking in Anzanian again. So that's one layer. The other layer is that she was kind of looking forward to that embrace. And it's just calling him an idiot for not doing it. I love it. I love this double meaning, and I wonder if people reading it could catch it. But I'm not sure if it's a little bit too subtle and it's lost. But yeah. Okay, so what happens here? There's two things I need to write. First off, we need to write a dialogue between Zara and Yoko regarding truths, which ends her spouting this line: "The truth sprouts and dries like grass." My heart stopped. That voice in our tongue, not the clipped cadence of an Ixborian, not the poetic fragments she had trained me to decipher, but Anzanian, whole and familiar. Yet how did it sound so
It isn't obvious,
foreign?
but I think it works well for its objective.
Okay. It wasn't the words. It was the choice. He had spoken them deliberately, not out of necessity, not to teach, but perhaps to an end I did not yet understand. Zara turned back towards the fire, finger lacing with one another, and in that infuriating, immutable calm, said, "Write what grows again." In Exportian, as if nothing had happened, as if I imagined it, as if she hadn't just broken a vow I hadn't realized that it was sacred. My mouth opened, but no words came. I simply stood, bowed lightly, and excused myself. Alexander tilted his head, confused by my sudden departure, but said nothing. I needed air. No, I needed answers. So basically, I want the dialogue here to have Zara talk about Seret a little bit. No, he needs to talk to Zara about questioning his faith, about what remains and what is truth and what is not. And Zara basically just said that truth is what you dictate. You're a scribe. You literally create truths, right? So you and that was your choice, uh not the world's. So basically that's it. But then she also needs to hint that Seret, that you talk so surely about Seret that she lies. Perhaps you assume too much that her identity is true. And then he basically went out searching for Seret. And blank faces. Some said no such warrior had served the levies. Others claimed to remember a woman with both hands or none. Another laughed and said Seret was only a word for a current that changes its name with every bend of the river. I laughed too, a quiet, tired sound. Perhaps she was real, perhaps not. Perhaps Algamir lent me a voice when I needed one, and took it back when I was ready to stand. I did not know. I peeked in the jar again, digging through the pages of my memoirs to find a single foreign parchment mixed with the rest. It reads, "I believe in you." Sarah lives. The pages live. And somewhere between them, Seret's lie breathes. It still breathes. I still have the impossible task of rebuilding the 7 years of my memoirs ahead of me. But perhaps recounting the perfect past is not nearly as important as how these words could reshape the future. That, I think, would be enough. I realize now as I write this entry. So let me just think of the dialogue. This is my thought process. So what happens is I throw this prompt into ChatGPT, right? And I look at what it writes, be disappointed, and write the stuff myself, right? Mm, okay. Let's see what it. Let's see what else we could say. The dialogue is too long. It also needs to mention the questioning of the existence of
Classic
Barrett.
chat.
Yep. Shack. Classic text to speech. Yep. Too long. Questioning the existence of Sarah. Needs to talk about his questioning nature of the truth. Zara needs to end with saying, after all. Yeah. Before saying the truth sprouts and dries like grass. Okay, let's see what it comes up with this time. It is not Jacob that questions Sarah's existence. It is Zara's reminder of it. Okay. Right? Here's a tight corrected version of the dialogue. Okay. You still believe she saved you? She did. I spoke with her, ate her food, drank her broth. Hmm. No, that's a little bit too. No, I think that is a direct. That is, yeah. The more I generate, the more unsatisfied. Here's how you know you're growing as a lighter. If you grow as a lighter, you could ignite flames from a wick on top of your head. So that's one way. If you're growing as a gas lighter, you'll be knowing that you've been lied to. You've been lying out of your teeth. Wow. Well, like my goodness, I'm just realizing now that Zara is gaslighting incarnate, isn't she? Well, she's not really gaslighting. But she could be. It would be a horrible, horrible relationship.
Zara by Gaslight LOL.
Yes. I think Okay, so here's what I'm going to uh do instead. The dialogue needs to happen in the form of memoirs to be added to the story. Oh, I know why it's so crappy. The creative writing coach is based on the 4.0 model. Huh. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy a couple of this. Right. So I like this one. You still believe she saved you? He asked, her tone without judgment. I looked up. I hate saying I looked up confused because this is lazy writing, right? Because when you say I looked up confused, it's uh tell rather than than showing. Yeah, my brows furrowing. Oh, my brows, not browse, browser.
My bewildered gaze found hers.
As my gaze found hers. There we go. This is a show. Very, very, yeah. She fed me. She fed me. Uh, gave me parchment. Even returned my. I stopped jarring. Wait. Okay. Go. This is how I'm gonna frame it. I prefer this. Go. Do you know what the word seret means in Umuhamia? Zara tilted her head the way she often did when studying a puzzle already solved. Okay. And you could imagine my frustration. Here's the thing. This is the effectiveness of Windows text-to-speech, right? In comparison, the ChatGPT text-to-speach is so much more accurate. However, it doesn't work while I have this microphone plugged in. So, for some odd reason. Okay. And then is it iPod? Yeah. Um, I shook my head. I shook my head. Of course, she was studying the serpent's tongue before traveling here. Oh, wrong. Studied. Of course, she studied their tongue before uh, traveling here. Then she added, not sharply, but with that soft, unsettling certainty of hers. Yep. That it is just a name for a river current. Yeah. Always shifting, never still. The word struck me harder than I'd like to admit, the sudden awareness, sharp and bitter. Perhaps it clung to a story because it was easier than facing the void. I think. Wait a minute. He's in a tent. Would there be fire inside a tent? That makes no sense. Let me just revise that. No, she didn't argue. Yep. But then I believe that. What is even true anymore? Question mark. What is real between what's on my page and what I can. Parchment. And it is written upon. Yep. There we go. That's a nuance I want to that's the nuance in my writing that Chat GPT fails at. Sorry, I'm uh what is real is what you create.
Is this real life? Or just fantasy?
No discards. Continue editing. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say caught in a landslide, no escape from reality, and I almost lost everything. Okay. Not found. Fruit sprouts and dries like grass. There we go. That is the dialogue that I'm happy with. I there go there. Okay, good. I'm not sure if I wanted to say begrudgingly here because this is an adverb, right? Begrudgingly, I repeated what. Okay, so I gritted my teeth as I my words what and repeated Confirmed. River current. Okay. With that, the not this one. Where was it? Oh, I deleted it, didn't I? Not ask ChatGPT. No, no, no. This is reflective closing paragraphs. Oh no. Uh, where was the text that I wrote before? I got around this. Is this in the character development thing? No.
Did I distract you?
No, no, you didn't distract me. There was a copy of this that I wrote that. Okay, you know what? You know where it is? It is in a previous iteration of this. Must be. Okay. Let's see. He ran around asking about. Okay, no, no, no. Is it this one? No, that's the latest one. That's not correct. Is it this one? Hate this. No. Not it either. Either. This is 7-year gap. Nope. Okay, so that's not the where I wrote it. So is it in the up in the character development stuff? No. Okay. No. Okay, so it is a nice imagery for her. For one thing we need to fix. It's nice imagery for Zara to have to be at the campfire. So she probably is inside the tent. Okay, so if she's inside the tent, then maybe the tent is open and staring at the bonfire. Okay. Loyal men, poor liars. I thank them. Okay. Oh wait, it's the one that's where she said fool earlier. Right? Hmm? Not back because I removed the passage when she looked at the fire. She turned towards the bonfire. Uh, roaring outside in defiance of the approaching dusk. Okay, so here we go. You know what's being here's an interesting take. Like uh, there was a writer who uploaded a short saying that uh, writing with ChatGPT is like a Brazilian, uh, getting a BBL because you look good. It looks good at first glance, but as you examine it, you realize that it is something that's added and artificial and doesn't look good at all upon further inspection. Wandered. outside the encampment, asking guards, locals, merchant. Anyone. I could find. Okay. The laughing. Okay, so there we go. Okay, that's enough. That's enough changes. I'm going to copy this, paste it onto Word. Oh, okay. I capitalized a couple of things. Let's ignore this. Gave me parchment is correct. Ignore this. Accept. Okay, so I'll paste this back in here. Or this. Set it. Capitalization. Okay, no. Now we paste it back. I forgot to turn on the music, didn't I? Give me a second. This is probably one of the most boring chats. Not boring, boring screams I've ever done yet, because this is me literally just editing. Hopefully, this doesn't become the norm here, because usually I don't edit on camera. But it's interesting. Okay.
The chat stream LOL.
Yep. No, it's not really just that. Not even just ChatGPT. Like the literal. I didn't even show the ChatGPT stuff. It would have been even more interesting to just look through ChatGPT rather than this. But okay, so here it is. So let's read one more time to see if things are if things read well enough. Okay, ready? I told her everything. How I'd lost the memoirs, that I'd been lied to, and how those lies kept me and whatever pages remain alive. Alive. I think this doesn't belong on a new paragraph though. Should I do this on a new paragraph? It's nothing if not effective. Because if I wanted to continue this train of thought, it would be better to start a new with then I told her everything.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'd lost the memoirs, that I'd been lied to, and how those lies kept me and whatever pages remain alive. You still believe she saved you? He asked, her tone without judgment. I looked up, brows furrowing as my gaze found hers. She fed me, gave me parchment, even returned my... Zara tilted her head, the way she often did when studying a puzzle already solved. Do you know what the word Seret means in Muhammir? I shook my head. Of course she studied their tongue before traveling here. Then she added, not sharply, but with that soft, unsettling certainty of hers. Seret is just a name for a river current. Always shifting, never still. The words struck me harder than I'd like to admit. Do I just have her say Seret is just a name for a river current? What feels more right? You're saying between Seret is just the name of a river current. You know what? I'll read this and see how it feels. That is just the name of a river current, always shifting, never still. The words struck me harder than I'd like to admit. A sudden awareness, sharp and bitter. Like the broth Seret fed me. I sharp and bitter, like the broth I drank. Perhaps I clung to the story because it was easier than facing the void. Then, what is even true anymore? What is more real between what's on my page and the parchment it is written upon? This belongs here. Then I questioned, comma. Ah, เรียนอยู่ป่ะฮะ Ah, you know, okay. What is even true anymore? What is more real between what's on my page and the parchment it is written upon? Zara didn't blink. He only looked at me, eyes steady. What is real is made, not found. After all, the truth sprouts and dries like grass. My heart stopped. That voice in our tongue. Not the clipped cadence of Nixborian, not the poetic fragments she had trained me to decipher, but Anzanian, whole and familiar. Yet how did it sound so foreign? It wasn't the words, it was voice. He had spoken them deliberately, not out of necessity, not to teach, but perhaps to an end I did not yet understand. Zara turned toward the bonfire, roaring outside in defiance of the approaching dusk. Fingers lacing with one another. Fingers laced, not lacing. Yeah. And in that infuriating, immutable calm, continued. Hmm? เอาเป็นไฟล์หมดยังทดมาอีกครั้งหนึ่ง He continued. Right path grows again. In Nexporian. As if nothing happened. As if I imagined it. As if she hadn't just broken her vow, hadn't realized I was sacred. Mouth open, but no words came. I simply stood, bowed lightly, and excused myself. Alexander tilted his head, confused by my sudden departure, but said nothing. I wouldn't say Alexander would tilt his head here. It is not in his character. Stood aside to make way for not the number 4 for my sudden departure. Good. I needed air. I needed answers. Wandered outside the encampment, asking guards, locals, merchants, anyone could find about a one-handed body woman named Zeret, blank faces. Some said no such warriors saved the levies. Other claimed to remember a woman, both hands or none. Another Latin confirmed that Zeret was a current that changed its name with every bend of the river. I laughed too by a tired sound. Okay, everything else is the same. Good. So, what do you think about the changes so far about this chapter? How did the additions feel? Did it feel natural? Did it feel earned? Let me save. Let me check this. Ignore. Okay, so there's two more things which are like the broth I drank. Yep. I hate the fact that this thing, the text-to-speech for Windows capitalizes everything first. Except, okay, and that's everything. Save. Go see Seret. There we go. My edits was saved. Go and appreciate this. It's not unwatch.
Huzzah.
And we're done with chapter 4, pretty much. Any comments so far? Like, are the additions neat? Or... Yep. Hope the additions were kind of neat.
The additions are good. I have no complaints.
Thank you. And let's see if we have a zoomed in picture of Seret here. There she is. So I decided to find, because they don't like amputees. So I decided to find a picture that hides one of her hands. That's the only thing that makes sense for me. Yep. So that's the only way that I get around ChatGPT being absolutely not okay with that kind of stuff. All right. There she is. But for the book, it's turned black and white. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to show you the ChatGPT conversation that I'm having currently about the characters of the next chapter. Is it here? No, it's not here. Wait a minute. What's going on? I had the compendium open. What happened to it? There's literally a Canvas document that's supposed to be on here that I could share. What happened to the Canvas document that was on here? I wanted to share that one more thing. And we're going to pivot afterwards into a more physio-based live stream. And again, it's probably going to be me trying to use the Wacom tablet. Just so that I could show the canvas, please. Oh, now it shows up. Okay. All right, let's see if this works. Right, so here's the new compendium that I'm kind of quote-unquote working on for the next chapter. So this expands a little bit on the... this is not publicly available yet, work in progress. But this talks about a couple of the characters that are going to show up. Yep. And this, I needed this for a context for writing the next chapter. So here it is, right? So the new and exploring republic, species and social structure after the Reformation. So the religious and cultural expansion. Following Saint Zara's first miracle, the reformation of the Nixbor, the ancient warriors hierarchy of Zarios' dominion. Okay, they misspelled Zarios here, but that's fine. Collapsed into a republic built on civic virtue rather than divine birthright. Once a rigid caste system rooted in divine favor and military role, probably not divine favor. That needs to be changed. Yep, so because it is not divine right. It is more like right due to strength. Okay, I'm gonna make a couple of notes here. Where's my notes? Hooray for the ChatGPT stream, yep. First off, I'll need to rename Zarios. Rename Zarios. Not divine right, but right true strength. Darius. Right,
Hello
okay.
everyone.
Hi, Master Chief. Thanks for being here, buddy. I'm
Long
just
time
doing...
no see.
Long time no see, yeah, because I haven't been streaming as often. I've been trying to do a ton of projects offline, trying to do the writing, trying to do shorts edits. And the problem is I'm paralyzed. I didn't... No, not that
I was so busy, but I'm back.
Well, welcome back. It's not...
Oh, nice
not,
story.
Yes.
Hi, Achieve.
Yes. So I've been working on, I've been working on the story on in and of itself. So okay, we're gonna rename this Zarios. This is a prepping for the next chapter. I'm completing I was supposed to complete the 4th chapter yesterday, and I didn't, and I did that on stream right now. So there's that. You can go read the story in the link.
I want to be novelist/author like you.
I'm not yet an author. This is published online, so hardly. There's not enough views on it. If you want to support my channel and go read the memoirs itself, it's officially over here. It's officially over here. Yeah.
Published where?
It's on a website called Royal Road. It's a free place where you could publish your works. And if it gets
Would
traction,
love to read some.
Yep. So I have this one. And I also
Hi,
have...
Christopher.
Oh! Chris Burton! Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Thanks for being here, buddy. Howdy, howdy. I didn't realize it was you. I thought it was Master Chief. But yeah. Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Yep. Let's go to my profile and my fictions. Yep. So basically, I think this is my list of fictions. But it is there's the memoirs, which is the main book, and then the Descent of the Gods, which is basically a compendium of the story of the saint. But I needed to it needs a rewrite and a couple of new images generated. So yeah. I'll just show you my fictions page. Where are you? There we go. So over here is Memoirs of Jacob, which is the main text. So-called Memoirs of Jacob are not scripture, but sedition, apocryphal texts smuggled across borders, hidden in back rooms.
My phone just popped up the notifications.
Oh. Notifications of what?
I must go now.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Oh no, not an oh snap reference. Oh man.
See ya, Chief.
See ya, Chief. But does anybody even remember the oh snap reference? It's such an old meme.
It was a message, so see ya later.
Yeah, see ya, Chief. No, there's actually an oh snap where I think it was a student that sent Prawn. Oh, look at him. Just sent Prawn to his professor, and he went, "Oh snap! I sent you the wrong something." Please, could you return it?
Getting
pretty
meme
please.
history lessons faced with tears of joy.
Yeah, but again, yeah, this is the world-building text for the other novels within my universe, namely the Memoirs of Jacob. The Descent of the Gods is a holy text in the form of a children's book, written and distributed by the Maui religion. First major publication created and distributed by the use of printing press. An essential part of the establishment of Maui as a religion, as well as uniting Tanzania into one single nation. It is a repurposing of the other tales of the descent of the gods as captured by various religions and beliefs, and adding the chapter of Saint Zara at the end.
That's a unique angle to world build with. A children's book.
Yes. But this is a Yeah, it is a children's book. The thing is, the question is, what would be the uh, most accessible, watered down version of religion you could imagine? So I thought it was a children's book. Unfortunately, this was published 29 days ago and it has not been updated. But we've made some changes. I even have the ChatGPT. Yep. To my novel, free to read it afterwards. But this is, like I said, there's a text and then there's a woodblock prints like this. So it is a bit of a read, but this has not been updated. I've made some changes to make yeah, it is really neat. Yep. But I'll need to revise some changes here. And the memoirs of Jacob. Feel free to make an account and go comment and rate it, because nobody's rated my novel yet. Contains AI assisted content, graphic violence, and sensitive content.
Does this include the literal in-universe world building myths? That's cool.
Yes. And you can see these are the current chapters that is officially published, whereas the newest updated chapters are put on a wiki. So the reason I put them in a wiki like so.
Sources of inspiration for these? Or all made up?
The sources of inspiration. Okay, so I'm not sure if you were here for my Unlimited Saga days, right? So here's the rabbit hole. I started off saying, let's fix the Unlimited Saga magic system, right? And I said I wanted to fix the Unlimited Saga magic system, so we talked about the elements. And unfortunately, and not unfortunately, the thing about the elements in Unlimited Saga, there's the 5 elements of Wu Qing. Okay, we're gonna go over here now. Yep. So here's the Wu Qing, or the 5 elements, right? I can't show you the entire thing, but as you can see, over up here is wood, and then fire, and then earth, and then metal, and then water. These are the 5 elements in Unlimited Saga, and despite them having this really cool element system with a built-in weakness and strength charts. For example, wood supports fire, supports earth, earth supports metal, supports water, water supports wood. And the blue one's a destructive cycle. So wood drains from earth, earth takes away from water, earth so water douses fire, fire melts metal, metal chops wood. So that's the destructive cycle. Earth shapes as the water. So there's that. And Unlimited Saga included these, but never took advantage of it. And there's some flavor issues regarding this as well, because there's a spell in Unlimited Saga called Holy Thunderbringer, which belongs to a wood element up here. And the reason it belongs to a wood element, it is to do with old Taoist beliefs and Taoist principles regarding directions. It's a whole thing. And Unlimited Saga makes very direct references to old Chinese philosophy, old Taoist principle stuff, which is prevalent in Japan. But also it is an interesting thing. But they never took real advantage of this built-in system. So I said, okay, let's create this built-in system. But if we're doing that, then it becomes a bit of a flavor fail. Or for example, metal that is strong against wood, to use a metal spell, which consists spells like silence, against thunder, which is very flavorfully wood based, flavorfully against metal, strong against metal. So I said, okay, we gotta scrap the whole thing and let's create our own stuff. And with that in mind, I went ahead and started to create my own stuff. And if you look at all of the pages here in the wiki, I went and created my own stuff. This is in depth.
Haha.
But yeah, this is the rabbit hole that we're going down. And the thing is, as soon as I created my own stuff in the elemental weaknesses chart, right? I went, okay, so this is what I want. If I had the game, Unlimited Saga already has this number 7 as a basis. Let's make 7 elements. And right now we have water against fire, against metal, against so
the outer religions of the world are based on the elemental magic system.
Yes, exactly. So I created a bunch of religions, and faiths and different things. I did the one huge cardinal sin of writing, which is monoliths. So when you put what by monolithing is an idea that you separate various different elements and things into monoliths. So you have things like oh, these belong to this people, belongs to these, and these they have. Okay, so it became a bit of a thing. It's a bit of a problem, but I work with the limitations, right? So what happens is the outer circle are the major advantage, meaning that water has a strong advantage against fire. Fire has a strong advantage against metal because fire melts metal. Metal is strong against wood because metal cuts wood. Wood is strong against earth because wood magic saps earth. Earth is strong against thunder because earth is grounds thunder, while thunder is strong against water. So that's the elemental outer loop, right? In the inner loop, though, there's a fire. Yeah, so there's fire. It's in the loop. There's fire being strong against wood because fire burns wood. Wood saps water, right? And water washes earth, and earth covers fire. And I made the thunder strong against metal, and metal strong against thunder, back and forth. It is a magical. It is a back and forth weakness like light and darkness. But with thunder and metal, they came back and forth like this. And then I went ahead and created a whole bunch of things. Right?
Are these faith-based magic users, though?
The thing about it is, I layered another aspect of it, which is magic, like physical strength and technology. So if you're into, if it's Dota, then it's strength, agility, and magic. I added another level into it, and then these are also another bit of checks and balances within the game that I wanted to add. Because originally in Unlimited Saga, you had access to guns, which did nothing special. So I thought that making it a different stat altogether would seem interesting. And there's various different stats. Fire and earth are the polar opposites.
Interesting.
Because fire is physical, is the physical element. So it is its governing stat is strength. It is the offensive physical stat, whereas earth is the physical defense stat, or I use which is constitution. So those are opposites. Water has devotion. It is the offensive magic stat. So magicians are like those who are attuned to water, or races that are attuned to water, are really good mages. Whereas resistance, or maybe resilience here, I can't remember. It is wood, and it's magical, and it's the defensive magic stuff. Defensive magic stuff. I needed to make this change though, because thunder is now the technology, the offensive stat, and is governed by intelligence, whereas metal is the expertise or dexterity, right, on the defensive stat. It's interesting. I wanted another word for dexterity that is a more defensive term than dexterity, because dexterity is traditionally linked to agility, right, and linked to an offensive stat, and it needs changes. And I pigeonholed every race in the
How do stats fit into the narrative? Does this build characters?
the thing about the narrative, right? I didn't originally want this to this project didn't start off as a novel on of itself. Like I said, it started off as a game, and I started writing about Zara, which is the Saintess character. Yeah, it is the Saintess character, which reframes everything. Unlimited Saga, there's a character called Iskandar, which is a direct references to Alexander the Great. And my version is a female saint, which is similar to Jesus Christ, right? It's not. It is a very obvious allusion to Jesus Christ, because her entire story is about martyrdom. So we go back to all pages here and go to the friggin' first the preface of the memoirs. You have a literal Redeemer version of the natural wonder, and there's a bunch of natural wonders as well in the game. And I based the story on the 7 modern natural wonders. So Christ the Redeemer was one of them. And there's the various other different gods, like for example, like everything is all in progress here. Like Algamir, which is the god of the element of earth, and basically they tie back to the Muhamir, which is the reptilian species, Confederation reptilian species living in the desert floodplains. And there's things that I've added, which is trivia. All the 7 realms, the Muhamir is inspired and designed by the designating one of the 7 wonders, the 7 deadly sins, along with governing color, elements, skill set, and stats. So, for example, I designated the reptiles to reference Arabic culture, because the real world wonder it references is the Petra. And we gave this the sin of, okay, needs to be updated. It should be gluttony. And color yellow, element is earth. It is, yeah. right now. Skill set and expertise is, yeah, this needs to be updated still. But it is the new 7 Wonders of the World and the 7 Deadly Sins. So there's all that. And this was back in the day when things are happening. And and the thing is, I wrote a kind of a small blurb as a backstory to the game. And the small blurb evolved into a memoir, which I wanted to create the game, but I have no game creating skills. So my game plan is to literally write an in-universe piece of text that is the lore. This is the world building for my game. That was originally what the intent was, and now it has evolved into a life of its own and becoming a thing. Oh, by the way, here's a really cool thing if you wanted to. Oh, give me a second.
Okay, these are some cool connections between a game's elements system, world wonders, sins. Would not have thought to put these all together. Cool.
Yep. Give me a second while I... Is that everything? Okay, back up. Yeah, but that's the... Oh, and I'm not sure if you notice that the elemental system made a really cool logo for the Descent of the Gods. Isn't that cool? Look, and that became the symbol of the Mawu religion as well. And that's probably my game logo.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet, isn't it? Minimal, recognizable. The dotted patterns inside made it look like an eye. It is just wow. It just felt, everything felt correct here. Ooh, Lovecraftian. Wait, I'm not sure why I didn't spell it out, but you're touching a little bit on the Eldritch part here. But that's right, it becomes slowly more and more Eldritch and Lovecraftian as the story continues, if you actually want to read it. Like Memoirs of Jacob will start off, and I don't make this a it's a bit of an open secret, right? For the game. But what I wanted to do originally...
The symbol isn't threatening though, so
Yep.
I buy it as a religious symbol at first.
Yep. Here's the thing though. The novel, the memoirs novel, right? To all members of the Mawu Inner Circle, the so-called Memoirs of Jacob are not scripture, but sedition. This apocryphal text smuggled across borders and hidden in the back rooms of inns aims to recount the travels of our lady and martyr, Saint Zara of Anzania, as she journeyed across the 7 realms. Its author, a mere missionary scribe, writes with trembling ink and unguarded candor, and therein lies the danger. What official liturgies veil in parable, this work lays bare. Worse still, it records the lady herself not as a sainted paragon, but as a strange, unsettling figure in her poetry and her silences. It is for this reason this text was proscribed, not because it lies, but because it tells the truth dangerous enough to unravel faith and topple institutions. So let this stand as final admonition. Do not read. If you find these pages, consign them into the flames. Preserve your life and your soul. The revelations contained within have already caused others. So this, the more you read it, the more Lovecraftian and more eldritch it becomes. The more you realize that something is uncanny about Saint Zara, right? And if you look at my headcanon regarding the old game of Unlimited Saga, right? The thing about Unlimited Saga, that it's a thinly veiled comparison to another is thin. It's pretty thinly veiled over there as well. That the world of Unlimited Saga is a game, and it's kind of self-aware that that it itself is actually a game. And with that with that revelation, all the people inside it, all of the characters and all the things are the NPCs, with Iskandar being representative of the player character. And everything in the game alludes to a post-apocalyptic world where the game has already been played. It's like the game has already been played, the journey was over. What's left over is from creative minds, basically creative minds to make interest of the player, right? And the character Iskandar already went on his adventures, did all the things, and now this is the world that's left over. And that's the feel of Unlimited Saga. And I wanted to capture that by basically creating a world where Saint Zara is slowly becoming more and more obvious that she's like an isekai protagonist, that she's not from the same world as all of these other characters. This is written from a viewpoint of an NPC seeing a player character. So that's the so that's that's the plan.
I like it.
And I have a long plan regarding this because currently what's happening is that if you look at the all pages here and look at the splash page of memoirs, right? So Muhammad Part 1 is done. We have Muhammad Part 2, Part 3, and we have other races here, which I have no idea.
Seems you're going in all directions and extra depth too.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I'm going in all directions. It's always really good, but that's infuriatingly, that's how I work. And my head goes into all different directions at the same time, when I should instead be focusing on one thing.
But that's fun.
I'm running out of time though, and money. But I mean, thank you for being a member, by the way. I'm not sure if you're still a member, though. But yeah, as you can see, you're still in the pantheon of members here. Your Pokemon is still up there, as you can see. The Bertonian Pokemon.
Time limit.
Yeah, I mean, I have limit on time and money. I've been streaming and doing things, and basically, this is a bit personal, but I think my savings will be gone by the end of the year, and we'll start going into debt now if I don't start doing something to generate more income than I do now. And it's rough because I want to monetize stuff and I want to continue doing streaming because that's what I love to do, and I want to continue doing more things in life that I like writing a novel and stuff. But these the thing is, I went back job hunting as well, and it's absolutely not good. All of the kind of works that I could do now, because of the nature of my disability, my hand function, I don't have my hand function anymore. It all goes to AI. AI is replacing every single thing that I'm doing. Translation, even writing a novel, this thing's AI assisted. I couldn't write this by myself because I simply don't have the dexterity to do so. And the best text-to-speech software is on ChatGPT. So there's that. absolutely diabolical that the world's heading this way, and I'm running out of venues to make content. And content creation, I like, I either
Oh
beat
man,
them, or, yeah,
that's really tough.
yeah, it's a beat 'em or join 'em kind of a deal, and I know that I want to stoke creativity. I want to actually add more and more things to the list of things that I've achieved in my life, but it is rough. Like right now, it is a rough patch, but I have until the end of the year to do something, to create something, to leave some sort of mark, and I have a ton of ideas and not enough time to do them, and I have to pick one of them. And either I'm going to pivot hard into the novel, or I'm going to uh, yeah, either I'm pivoting hard into the novel, which is a stretch at this moment, or I go and do my short form video series, which is more accessible. And due to my location, I should be doing more content in my location. I should do more Thai content, but I'm still not comfortable with leaving the nest over here on YouTube, which is more comfortable and generates a little bit of income, and doing what I like, and in English. And that being said,
Yeah, on one hand the AI helps with things you do, but also takes away that work.
yeah, it is absolutely unfortunate. But that being said, really happy to be able to still stream, give myself some human presence. And I jokingly said, right, at my that I'm not being replaced by AI anytime soon, because AI couldn't generate disabled hands. They cannot replicate this. Not yet. AI is too perfect. I have the imperfections. So you could see all of this and still realize that I'm real.
The streams are great. You seem comfortable and happy doing it. TDS doesn't do it justice, but my heart really does go out to you, Biggie. Fudge man. Ha 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 ha.
Thanks, Mana. And yeah, that's the thing. AI will never be able to replicate me. Because of my disability, I'm too imperfect for this world. And that's perfect. So there's that. You'll know that I'm real. Up until AI could generate disabilities with...
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Up until AI could show off the darker side of things and not be positive, see positivity and the fun and the goodness within my disability, I am still here. That's it. Wait, what was... Okay, there we go. Okay. So with that, I'm not sure what... Oh yeah, we were in the middle of talking about the chapter 5 brainstorming and what's going to happen. So I'll just this works as a synopsis as well. So this is all well and good. As you can see here, we're talking about the Nyxborn Republic. Basically the species and social structure after Reformation, and I'm editing this so that generative AI could help me out with catching any mistakes. AI is really good at editing, really good. It sees mistakes, sees weaknesses within my writing, always. So it even has a creative writing coach. And right now you could actually see all of the and right now I'm at the stage where the stuff they're generating doesn't do it for me anymore, because I now actually see the the mistakes and the inconsistencies and said, nope, that's not what I wanted. Literally, I'm having AI on the drums and I'm Simmons going, not my tempo. Not my tempo. Are you overwording or are you underwording? Not my tempo. And meanwhile, AI is chugging along, drinking so much water. But that's also a different. Oh. One really, really sad side note that you should be upset about. That's just gonna make you guys angrier, but unfortunately I have to share it. Bill Gates just backtracked on climate change. He's saying that climate change is real, but it's not gonna affect us because we're not in a third world country. It'll suddenly affect me because that's where I am, but and then the White House, Trump just went, thank you, Bill Gates took a lot of courage.
I'm a teacher, and I consider AI like a student. Lots of strengths, but needs constant guidance and makes some juvenile mistakes. Offrig.
Yeah. Absolutely wonderfully horrible. Yeah. There's that whole thing about Bill Gates backpedaling regarding climate change because, you know, the way I explain the AI bubble is like, imagine somebody, two companies go into the forest. One commissions the other to dig the hole. The other commissions the other one to fill it. And they both get paid back and forth. So it looks like they are generating a lot of money together. It is the same with the AI bubble right now. There's like Nvidia paying Microsoft, like,
good analogy.
Yeah, Nvidia paying Microsoft to make the software, while Microsoft pays Nvidia to make the hardware. Oracle is in there somehow doing whatever the heck they're doing. We don't know. The infrastructure for everything, and OpenAI is in there and somewhere in their environment. And yeah, it is just a matter of when it's gonna burst. So it's just, and you know, it's not just a matter of
time we live in.
Yeah, it's either if or when, and you know that the bubble's gonna burst when whatchamacallit, somebody rug pulls all the stocks, shorts all the stocks right before some sort of announcement happens, and nobody's doing anything about it. No options, no choice. Absolutely wonderful. All the outrage.
Are you in Thailand then?
Yes, but please don't dox me. Google does that already. Last stream, this is absolutely infuriating. I was in the middle of streaming using BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator, and I was testing out.
No, wouldn't ever.
Yeah, it's like what happened was during the stream, because I was testing out my tablet, my new accessibility option. While I was on the stream, I accidentally tapped on an option in BlueStacks that revealed my location to the exact point. And I had to end the stream and delete the VOD and hope that nobody actually saw it. So I'm actually absolutely horrified right now. It is probably the worst thing. The thing is just, there's an "Are you sure?" moment, but then I had to try to click and close it. Didn't do it in time because I'm not accessible enough to do it, and it's absolutely horrifying. It popped open Google Maps right to where my location is. Absolutely horrible. Anyways, I'm gonna finish the stream by reading this passage and making some edits, okay? And as you see here, we're talking about the Nyxborian Republic. Nyxborian Republic are the Arctic furry nation with all the various different things. Right? So we'll talk. We'll just read through. Yep. Following Saint Zara's first miracle, the reformation of Nyxbor, the ancient warrior hierarchy of Zarios' dominion, which I need to rename because Zarios is misspelled here, collapsed into a republic built on civic virtue rather than divine birthright. That also needs a change because it's not by birthright, but it's by strength. Once a rigid caste system rooted in divine favor, by strength, a military role, the Nyxborian Republic now struggles to balance equality with deep scars of its old order. Yep. It tried to read into my story and make some changes, but that's ChatGPT for you. About 80% accurate, and you need to make changes. So within the Nyxbor Republic, right, the two great faiths coexist, sometimes in harmony and sometimes in tension. The ancient worship of Zarios, the Lion of Flame, and the newer Anzanian faith of Mawu. The Republic identity upon a fragile but transformative dialogue between these two divine traditions. So Zarios, the Lion of Flame, is the old god of Nyxbor, which is the radiant lion whose fire represents war, artistry, and revelation through struggle. His followers believe flames purifies deceit and exposes truth. In the Republic's newer age, Zarios is no longer seen as simply as the god of conquest, but creation and catharsis. His flames burns not to just destroy, but to illuminate. So, older beliefs need to stay as well. I mean, there's the whole thing about religious reform is the kind of schisms, right? So there's different beliefs, different things, different trains of thought, different ways to worship. So the worship of Zarios manifests itself through artistic expression and physical performance. And we have firecasters who whose channel Zarios' flame to ritual dance, combat, art, interpreting divine passion through movement and creation. So as you can see, I read earlier in the chapter where where Jacob, our scribe, started writing using firecaster magic. So he borrowed from Zarios' ability right here a little bit. Warriors and artists alike see their acts through movement and creation. Leporans, which are the Arctic hair people, long associated with grace and rhythm, have become famed fire dancers, toiling in flame in celebration of rebirth and freedom. And as per request, Mana, we will definitely have a fire dancer being a giant bear in a tutu. That's got to be one of them. Eventually. Yeah. Whereas the Mawu, the word made law, came into Nyxbor through Saint Sarah and her parents, Lord and Lady Tawana, whose martyrdom rekindled the Nyxborians' ability to worship and create. So basically, before Mawu arrived, Zarios was conceptual, right? Where Zarios burn, Mawu speaks. Where the line reveals, Mawu remembers. Her doctrine centers on integrity between words and action, truth as something proven, not declared. Well, that needs to change a little bit because the idea of integrity of words through action is central to the Muhammad chapter, right? But we'll see if that's going to be present or not. But at least it's captured here, so that's good. Mawu's adherents are often diplomats, scribes, judges, and negotiators. In a culture of fire and expression, they bring counterbalance of reason and dialogue. So to them, every agreement, every promise is a sacred act. Okay, so this I'll need to make some changes to. But the two faiths' coexistence uneasily but beautifully, forming a creative and moral dialectic within the Republic. They say that most often sung in both temples and taverns captured in their union, which is Zarios gives the melody while Mawu gives the words. So that's a nice way of putting it. That's a great way of putting it. So in art and faith alike, this harmony of flame and speech defines the spirit of the Nixpor Republic now. A nation learning that creation and honesty are both acts of divine courage. Right. So here are the species and social
that last
structures.
line goes hard.
It goes hard, doesn't it? Yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to tune in to more Worldbuilding Wednesdays, because Worldbuilding Wednesdays is a highlight of my week, and it's one of the only few structures that keeps me actually returning and doing the novel that I'm promising. Right. So as you can see here, here are some of the species after the Reformation.
A nation learning is so good for forward story momentum.
Yeah. And right now, the Nixpor Republic is being invaded by the Mohamir, though. So that's what happens when a new form of government is established. So if you have learned anything about French history, it's all just like, hooray! We've toppled the monarchy. We've established the republic. Isn't that great? And the rest of Europe goes, dude, we're all monarchies. Your very existence is a threat to our... Your very existence is a threat to our entire way of life. It's like, oh no. Sacre bleu! But you know exactly where that's from. That's from oversimplified history. Great channel. But bear folks
Face
were
with tears of joy.
Yes. And then the Ursonians were the former rulers, which are the bear folk. So they were once hereditary kings and high priests of Zarios. Ursorians embodied raw power and sanctified dominance. They ruled through intimidation and strength, interpreting Zarios' will as justification for hierarchy. But the thing is, in the Republic, many have become traditionalists or nationalists, nostalgic for the lost divine authority. I'm going to have to revise this.
First meme history, now oversimplified world history. 10/10's channel.
Bow. Thank you. Right, as you can see here, we have basically, they're not by divine right, they're by strength, right? And the thing about the Ursorians, if you read my chapter 2, right, they're revealed to be super simple, not stupid, but very, very simple, right? So, you are weak, Nixpor strong, that kind of character. They're not governed by intelligence, but by simple-minded acts, right? They have limited intelligence. Intelligence is their dump stat. And because the structure has been kept as is by all those who are in power, right? So they're physically imposing, broad-shouldered, slow to trust, but slow to anger once their pride is set aside. Common Ursorian names includes Boris, Mikhail, and Yelena. And now we have the Siberian Tigers of the Tigrans. The disciplined fist of the old empire, bred for command in war. Tigrans once enforced Ursorian decrees that led campaigns against the Mohamir. Now they struggle with a loss of purpose. Many serve as Republican military officers or governors. Vladan the Tempered is one such figure, torn between faith, pride, and pragmatic ideals of the Republic. Proud, direct, often the loudest voice in the Senate, though fewer in number than before. Common Tigrans' names include Vasily, Catherine, Sergeyev, right? All these... we have Vlad the Tempered, my goodness. Literally we just literally had Vlad the Third as a civilization stream. So...
Funny.
Yep. And now we have Glacians, which are the Arctic fox folk. Once advisors, scribe, and tacticians of the Ursorian throne, their intelligence made them indispensable, but their loyalty was always questioned. I'll revise this as well. In the Republic's Galatians thrive. Many of the Reformation's administrative logistical successes are their work. They see Zara's Reformation as liberation through intellect. Dimitri the Innkeeper, a Galatian poet who chronicled the fall of the Old Empire.
Advisors.
Yep. A Galatian poet who chronicled the fall of the Old Empire became the Republic's first national bard, an enduring symbol of unity. Known for the calm speech. Actually, let me just make some changes, or just capture this. Galatian poets, Lupin's bards. Yep. And
Sorry I got a dip, this was really interesting. See you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday, but I'll be streaming tomorrow all the way through the weekend as well. So thanks for being here, buddy. Hopefully see you soon.
Christopher. Trophy congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat.
Thank you, Restream Chat.
Take care.
Take care. Right? So we have Dimitri the Innkeeper. Known for their calm speech, cunning diplomatic restraint, common Galatian names. Dimitri, Yaroslav, Nadia. Stonewarians are the former scouts. Agile, secretive, precise. Stonewarians served as the eyes of the old empire. Masters of terrain and ambush, they were often the first into battle and the last out. In the Republic, they have adapted to intelligence and information control. Some now work as couriers and mediators, others as spies for the new Senate. Oh yeah, because spies and spy networks, if you didn't know, are very well linked to diplomacy. Diplomats and spies are often the same roles. Proud, adaptable, hold quiet loyalty to the Republic's survival above the ideology. We have common names such as Mila, Sergei, Arkady, and Lupins. This is misspelled. Or the Wolf Folk. They're the Republic's backbone. Actually, well, calling wolves the backbone is a bit meh. But the Republic's backbone is the Oryxians, not the Lupins. Because the serfs are the backbone of the society. Oryxians are the backbones of society, not Lupins. And the Republic's backbone, largest population by far. Nope, it is the Oryxians being the largest population. Common infantry in Desarios' army. The Reformation elevated them from obedient fighters to enfranchised citizens, but loyalty now lies to the Republic's civil ideal of shared purpose. Honest, communal, but prone to populist fervor. Oh, that's a cool thing. Lupins rally quickly behind strong leadership, whether saintly or tyrannical. Alexander the Grey is a Lupin veteran, and Sarah's personal guard, known for his stoicism and quiet warmth. Embodying the Republic's idea of discipline and balance by
Populist
compassion.
fervor is a neat way of putting it.
Yeah. And now we have Oryxians. Once the beasts of burden of the old regime, they carried supplies, built fortresses, froze in the trenches while others feasted. The Reformation transformed it into symbols of resilience. Their strength and patience made them model citizens in the Republic. Many are now engineers, philosophers, or senators. I love this, right? Their quiet wisdom and deep pragmatism often balances the fire of Tigrans and Osaurians. And I can't wait to write about this character, which is one Oryxian senator. Radoslav of the Deep Vale is rumored to be the sharpest mind in the Republic's council and a living argument for merit over lineage. A character like Radoslav could only exist in a Republic. He is the Napoleon. Because in a Republic, there needs to be a representation of somebody who rises through the ranks thanks to the merit, rather than what's the word? Not aristocracy. Through what's the word? Nepotism. There we go. It is such an important character, and I can't wait to write him into the figure. of this. And now we have the Leporans, which is the former slaves. Okay. Arctic Hairfolk are the lowest of the low in the old hierarchy, usually servants, messengers, and fodder. Ooh, fodder, wow. Their population exploded after the wars, as their agility and fertility made them indispensable laborers. Under Mawu's faith, many Leporans found new dignity. Some became priests and scribes, seeing in Mawu's doctrine of word and action as divine affirmation of the newfound agency, which is kind of nice, kind of neat, considering the little rabbit that we saw in the snow before, being the one who basically started the faith. Now, Sister Ionka, a Leporan monk, an earlier follower of Saint Sarah, possibly the little girl, because right now it's 7 years past that. She could be either 14 or 15 by the time this storyline is happening. Or maybe the little girl was about 12, and 7 bears past would make her around the age of 18 or 19. That could work as well. He serves as an advisor and chronicler within the Republic's new order, representing the moral authority of the common folk. So yeah. Those are some characters that we could look forward to. Zarios provides the melody, Mawu provides the words. Yep. Okay. And I think that'll have to be it for today. I overdid it on the world building, but I was having so much fun with Chris being here. So thanks for being here, Chris, amongst some of our other members. So let's go ahead and thank all of our other members. First off, also Mana for being here as well, and Apulux, Rafael Vega Chapa, Amislam, and Chris Burton for being members at the time of streaming, getting to watch vids early, cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment, contributing to the channel little by little. And we just need a few more members to help the channel out. But if you enjoy what you're seeing, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, click on the bell to get notified. And if you do become a member, you get to join the Pantheon and get turned into a Pokemon. Even legacy members like Techno, Sherry Zahir, and Nana Ayu, who supported my channel way back when. Alright folks, it's now time for me to say goodbye. Thanks for being here, Mana, and whoever else is watching this. If you're watching this all from the VOD all the way to the end.
Have a good day, Biggie and all. These streams are really fun. Smiley face.
Thanks, Mana. Hopefully we'll get more viewers in other gaming streams and more entertainment stuff. But yeah, these streams are probably relatively good for me creatively. Like I said, as a structure to keep me on task. And I wanted to write chapter 5 and I couldn't do it because I needed to finish chapter 4 first. And without this stream, I wouldn't have been able to finish chapter 4. So that's all said and done. The really good thing about this, I'm going to have my chief editor, aka my mom, read through chapter 4 again. And if anything is of note, I'll make those changes before publishing it on Royal Road. All right, thanks for being here, Mana. Me and Megan, I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. And I forgot that there's not a different word for starting. Okay, I need to change this from starting soon to something else.